Hello everyone, Ladislas Maurice from The Wandering Investor. Today we're in Istanbul in a neighborhood called Kurtuluş. It's a middle class area in the center of the city. And we're gonna check out an apartment that is ripe for renovation. So it's the sort of apartment you buy, it counts towards your citizenship by investment allowance, and then you do a renovation to get the best value out of it, and then you can rent it out for some attractive yields. So it's a vibrant neighborhood, very middle class, and the building we will visit is this one right here in front. And the apartment is located right on top, rooftop, with gorgeous views. Here's our friendly buyer's agent. How you doing, Keith?
Good, thanks. How are you?
All right, let's go in. Staircase, but unlike in many Istanbul apartments, this building has a cute little elevator. Now, the elevator itself is worth looking at. Tiny, literally just for one, maximum 2 people. Keith, come squeeze in.
Yeah, I'm coming. Not doing those stairs.
Cool. The elevator fits only 2 people, so
Hey guys.
Brian had to climb up the stairs. How was it?
Not bad. Nice staircase, nice metal fixtures, so good walk in the morning.
Cool. Make sure to follow Brian on brian.world on Instagram.
Thanks guys.
So Keith, can you tell us about this place?
Sure. This is a property that we sourced for one of our clients who's based in Hong Kong. I believe we did the transaction in December, and we're in February now. As you can see, we're well underway with the beginning part of the renovation. We paid 700,000 Turkish lira with everything included, the stamp duty and the commissions, so 700,000. And now we're in the renovation phase.
Great. And how much is the renovation costing?
We're estimating around 225,000 Turkish lira. That includes our management fee. It's a 100 square meter apartment, and we usually do the renovations between 2,000 and 2,500. This allows for a really nice quality renovation. Of course, if people want to put in really unusually expensive materials, that price can go up as well.
Okay, so that's approximately $350 per square meter for a full renovation, including destruction, and then a kitchen.
All new kitchens,
bathroom,
all new flooring, all new natural gas, all new lighting, everything. Absolutely A to C. When you say it in dollars, $350, I almost can't believe that we're doing it for that price, but we are. Yeah.
No, very interesting.
Yeah.
And in terms of the rental income,
Yep.
how much could the landlord expect per month?
I think when this is finished, we'll get about 4,500 Turkish lira. So that's about $600. Yeah.
Okay.
About $600, and it should produce somewhere around a 6% gross yield. For if you add up those numbers for the purchase cost as well as the renovation. We might do better, but we'll see how the market is. The rental market is a little bit unpredictable these days, but what we find is in these central Istanbul locations, if you have something that's really done to a nice standard, there's always a steady supply of tenants.
And it would be a local tenant?
It could be a local tenant, it could also be an expat tenant, it could be a local young professional, maybe in the tech industry or university professor, that kind of tenant we would aim for.
Okay. And typically, how long does it take you to find a tenant?
For this kind of property, it shouldn't take long at all, 1 month.
1 month?
Yeah, sometimes we get them in 1 week.
Okay, so very liquid rental
Yeah,
market.
absolutely, yeah.
So I think this is a very good example. We'll go through the property of what people can buy either as an investment in Istanbul, because objectively per square meter it's very attractive for such a large city. For the citizenship by investment, program, typically when you go online or you find all these new developments that are expensive, that are flashy, that are pretty. You'll have people pick you up at the airport, offer you fantastic service, but then the reality is they're making 10% commission when they sell this unit to you. So if you actually want to make an investment to obtain the passport and not waste any money, personally, I believe that buying 2 or 3 such units is a much better way to go about it. It's not only are you going to get a much better rental yield, but you're not overpaying and you get much higher liquidity if and when you decide to exit the investment.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I mean, if you're buying in one of these complexes, particularly if they're outside of the city, which they often are, in locations that are really untested, unknown, you're paying prices that you don't really know if they're the market price. In 3 years, if you do decide to sell, you might be competing with 100 or 1,000 other sellers. So it's very difficult. Whereas here, if you have a nicely renovated apartment and you go to sell it, if you price it right, you're gonna be able to get out of your investment pretty quickly. So it's a much more transparent market in many ways, the downtown market, because you have properties that have been here for a long time and there's a price history. Whereas if you go and buy in a new development in a totally new suburb, there's no price history and there are thousands of apartments being sold. And hundreds of those will be on the market in a couple of years. And not to mention that, the worst side is the rental market. When there are hundreds of apartments to choose from, it drives down the rental prices a lot. So in a lot of those projects, I've analyzed them, and unfortunately, they're promising great things. They might even offer rental guarantees, but that just means you're paying more up front. You're probably lucky to get 2 or 3%, and I know a lot of people won't believe me when I say that, but that is a fact I've analyzed. I bought one myself years ago from a friend of mine who's a developer, and it was probably the worst investment I've ever made, so I never touch it again personally.
Okay, and the great thing about buying a few smaller units like this is that if you want to sell, 1, smaller units are much more liquid, and 2, in 3 years, once you're allowed to sell your apartments, maybe you want to sell one of the apartments, 2 of the apartments,
good point,
and actually keep one of the apartments for yourself as a Turkish citizen, to have an apartment in your home country. That's
a great point. I never thought about that after you've got your citizenship, of course, you probably want to keep some connection with Turkey. Hopefully you keep all your properties. It'll be good investments for years to come. But some people might want to take out some money off the table. Fair enough, and they could sell 1 or 2 units. In this case, the investor bought 4 units to reach the citizenship threshold. So all of the units were between 500 and 700,000 lira, and that made up totally the 250,000 dollars. Yeah.
Great. All right, let's have a look at the unit.
When you walk in the door, you have a reasonable sized living room. It's about 30 square meters. It's lovely, bright. We're going to keep the windows and the doors in this case because they're in good condition, but everything else, of course, will be renewed. And then you come in here. Handmade Turkish tiles here called çine in Turkish. Those thick, nice handmade tiles. They look lovely in these kind of spaces. Also, we'll put çine or the Turkish tiles in the kitchen. I like this kitchen. It's a good size. It's probably about, 10 square meters, 12 square meters, 10 square meters, let's say. I thought about opening it up to the living room, but in this case, where it's large enough and it's also very accessible to the living room, we decided that it wasn't really necessary, and we're going to keep it like this. Then we have the washroom here. We'll put in a very attractive washroom. Washrooms often sell the place to renters and help sell it later on. So we're going to put in something really sleek and nice in there. As you can see, we've stripped everything back. We've now completed all of the electric work. Still working on the plumbing. And this will be the guest room. Okay. And we'll have a kind of large closet, maybe a walk-in closet perhaps. We'll see. And the nicest part of this apartment is in the back. We have a great city view here. We're actually going to take this out. This will be the balcony, so there won't be anything above there. We'll take out all those windows. This is just going to be an open balcony. We have a lovely city view. You can see all of the towers in Belmonte there. We're very close to Belmonte, by the way. This is in Courtlish. And we have a really big bedroom area here. This will be the master bedroom. And it's just a really lovely master bedroom, this wonderful balcony. Finally, we're considering, but we're not sure, about putting a terrace above. But if we get really ambitious and adventurous, that's something we might do, and we would put a spiral staircase in the corner and have a little terrace up there. Nothing too extravagant, maybe 8 or 10 square meters. But that's something that we might do in the future. Initially, we're just sticking with the scope of the renovations here.
Honestly, when I see this, just even if there wasn't a passport at the end, like coming with such an investment, objectively paying $1,400 per square meter after like fully renovated in the center of Istanbul with such views, top floor, elevator, everything. I mean, it's a bit of in a world of craziness.
Yep.
This feels like a very deep value investment that has good long-term potential.
I really believe so. And I think it's cheap. It will come in less than $1,400 per square meter. I think it'd be more like 12, which is even more amazing. Yeah. I think that's great for all the reasons that you mentioned. It wouldn't even matter about the citizenship. This is just a good investment. And we do have a lot of people like that as well. It's only in the last year where we've had a wave of citizenship investors, but we don't really market towards them. We love having those clients. They're great. They come in, they do lots of research, the ones that come to us, and they really want to buy. But we're not marketing our properties to them. We're offering what we have, and we're saying, okay, how can we make this work for you? And in many cases, we're putting together a package of properties that works for them. It's quite interesting, the combinations you can have. They can have one property around 1.2 million, which is a little bit more luxurious, and then they can have an investment property, or they can have one much nicer one for right on 250, or they can have 4 like this, which I think is really a nice investment play.
So to the investor, to Keith's investor that bought this unit, who's probably watching this video, well done.
Yeah, thank you.
If you're interested in getting in touch with Keith to discuss real estate investment opportunities in Istanbul and the citizenship by investment, send him an email. His email is below. As always, make sure to subscribe to my free private list. You can find it on thewanderinginvestor.com. Keith, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Excellent.
All right, cheers.